Hi there, welcome. It's the Get Together Tech Talk with the Northwest Kansas Technical College in Goodland on KLOE Radio on every Thursday, except when the school's off for the summer session or when there is no school or holidays. The program, Tech Talk, presented as a public affair program of KLOE Radio, Rockingham Radio, and the Northwest Kansas Technical College. Curtis Duncan here, and we have a guest in our studio. Let me just have yourself go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name's Thatcher Jones. I am the instructor for the Precision Agriculture Technology program. I'm into my second year of teaching.
How do you like it so far?
So far, it's been a blast working with the other instructor, Jack Polifka. We're both fairly new, and we're adapting to every challenge thrown at us. Just being able to work with the students and teach them things that I know has been a blessing. So
now you've been in a little farming and ranching.
Yep. So I originally went through the Precision Ag program myself, first graduating class, and then after that I went out and was working at Helena Chemical as a Precision Ag guy, and I kind of got a love for agriculture, and I started a farm myself, and I'm into my third year of farming, corn, soybeans, wheat kind of operation, and hasn't been the best year, but we're moving on.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's your corn doing?
It hung in there for as long as it could. Took some for silage, and then I got a couple fields that will get harvested. I'm hoping they do 30 bushel, but we'll see if they make that. Yeah,
well, that's a big situation this year for that. But there are other years where we say, I can't believe I got that much higher total out of that 1 acre.
Yep, that was last year's and the year before case. I was fortunate enough last year to have 15 inches of rain to work with, and I hit my record crop for my second year, and I was hoping to do the same thing this third year, but I guess I'll take what I get.
Yeah, no three-peat this year, huh?
No.
Well, we'll see what next year goes on. Thatcher Jones with us here on KLOE Tech Talk. And the Precision Ag program, it is still new compared to some of the programs at the Tech College. How many students do you have? Are you down this year?
So our enrollment's down a little bit. We used to have close to 30 students before COVID hit, and then kind of with the pandemic, seems like every college is suffering a little bit from enrollment. So our current enrollment, we have 15 total students, 6 second-year students, 9 first year. So we're in the upward trends and kind of moving into this next year. Looks like we may have some enrollment growth just from some perspectives that are talking about touring the program. So
yeah, have you had tours yet this year?
We gave one early on. It was a virtual tour, and we got some lined up scheduled throughout the year. Then we were also up Husker Harvest Days for a recruitment event, and we gave probably 6 or 7 tours up there just through a mobile trailer and just conversations about drones and stuff. And those guys are all going to come down and do a tour or a shadow day. Some of them were juniors in high school, so they're going to come do a shadow day, maybe catch us during plant season or harvest, and see what we're about. So hopefully that turns into some enrollment growth.
Well, yeah, let's be positive on that. And the year isn't over. You're ready. You'll start next year too. The students, what is their background? Are they all farmers that start your show?
So it's about 50-50. We get a lot of guys that come off the farm. They're wanting to learn something about precision ag. So you get variable rate technology, soil sampling. That's what kind of those guys are in there for. We get guys that are maybe their first or second generation removed off the farm, and they're wanting to work in agriculture. So maybe they're coming off the farm, coming out of the city life and wanting to learn about agriculture so they can get back in. They may go back or go work at an implement dealership or an ag retail place. So it's about 50-50. Then we have some guys come in that never experienced agriculture, and this is a new thing to them. So we get a little bit of everything in there. So
brand new ball game. Well, that probably makes for a good mix, so doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes for an interesting learning environment. We get different backgrounds, so you can have different conversations in the class. When you're in a group lecture, you can ask some questions. You'll get guys that they don't know what a corn plant is, or you get guys that understand corn completely, or maybe they haven't planted corn, but they've been a milo bean operation. So you can get some really energetic conversations going in class, which I think helps everybody learn really good.
So they can learn about those tillers.
Yep.
what that means. I've learned a lot about stuff.
They're sure interesting.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. And now, do you do any work with sunflowers?
We have not. Sunflowers is something we haven't had in our rotation. It may be in the future. We never know. But it is nice to see the sunflower fields out here when they're full bloom. It makes for a beautiful sight.
They are. There's just picture, postcard, and calendar perfect. Many of the fields when they're all nice and healthy and they're all facing the sun and a beautiful blue background with the sky and maybe a few white clouds. Yeah, that's just really nice. You can kind of see that picture in your mind already, can't we?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. The students, when they come in, what are some of the first things, say, in your first year class, once you get through all the safety information, what are they starting to learn?
So kind of this first year, they're getting to learn, getting an introduction to precision agriculture, what precision ag is. We do a deep dive into a software called ArcGIS. So they're learning how to utilize different softwares, learning how a plant grows, introduction to soil sampling, and just kind of an introduction to corn harvest operations. And then we're kind of finished the year up irrigating, so the guys are learning how irrigation technology works, how to turn on engine, turn it off, stuff like that. So
you're very basic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a good introduction to precision ag and just agriculture in general. And then as we move into that second semester, we give a lot more deeper dive into what precision ag is.
Yeah. You're listening to KLOE in Goodland, and we have Thatcher Jones, one of the instructors in West Tech College Tech Talk in precision agriculture. You have drones. You use those for mapping to tell you yourself, say if they flew over your farm, you would know with different programs where to put more fertilizer and where to not put it, what the drainage and water movement. So you can do that a lot, can't you?
Yeah, for sure. We have a few different drones. A lot of the stuff we're looking for is flying plant health. It's like Curtis said, you can find out where some lower spots are that may need less fertilizer, higher spots need more fertilizer. You can do some survey stuff for your drainage. All sorts of different things we can do. We even have a spray drone that we can go out and do with, whether it's spot spraying or maybe doing a fungicide application, insecticide. That thing even has a little dry spreader box on it, so we can go seed in a cover crop or do some dry fertilizer. So we got some different opportunities there with the drones to teach. And we actually have, I don't know if Curtis, if you've heard this or not, but we have a guy on staff at the college, Mark Dickey, who's the IT director. He teaches a lot of that Part 107 classes to help guys get their license. And then he teaches the operations of the drones and stuff. And then those guys are getting hired out left and right if they choose to, and they're getting really good paying jobs. But we opened those drone classes up to precision ag, engineering, welding, CGT. So those guys are across campus are getting the opportunity to learn drones. So.
Oh, good. How big is that drone that you said you did seeding or spraying with?
It has about a 6.5, 7 foot span across it and spray pattern. I think it weighs about 35 pounds. It's a big boy. So.
Yeah. So and then you can load it up with more, or is it a total weight of 35 with chemicals on it or dry?
It's about a total weight, but we can load it up to 55 pounds to stay under that threshold for that. Now there's some exemptions you can get to go above 55 pounds, and so you can spray with bigger drones, bigger payload, stuff like that, so you can stay in the air longer and get more done.
Isn't that amazing?
It's sure interesting. It's changing so much.
Well, and it's not like it's going to drill wheat You're not probably going to use it for wheat, would you?
You could dry spread wheat if you're interested in that, but probably out in this area, you're probably looking at, dry spreading a cover crop or grass, stuff like that. You could do a wheat, but wheat's probably better being drilled at this point with the moisture level.
Yes. Well, in straight, narrow rows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's always so cool to see the wheat as it grows, to see those straight rows. People that have used GPS. Does everybody use GPS, global positioning, now?
Not everybody, but I'd say most of the industry does. It helps your efficiency so much, drilling, and you don't have any overlap, you don't have any skips, you have section control, so you're not wasting any more seed. So it's really a big benefit to the people that do have it. So
yeah, I like that. It's amazing how it works, and then once they get it cut, you see the straw standing in that straight line. Amazing, kind of a picture when you can see at the end of the rows how they will turn around or how they change it all to get things started again. Farming is really interesting. Do you have students that are thinking, man, this is going to be good, I'll get out and start my own farm?
Yep, we so this year we kind of got guys that are off the farm. So a lot of those guys are going to go back to the farm and just help their family operation grow and maybe get, I'd say they're all advanced. I'd say most everybody's using auto steer, but getting into that variable rate technology, maybe upgrading planters, finding ways to be more efficient with the ground they have to raise a better crop. But we do have, last year we had a graduate student who was looking to start his own operation. He was able to get his first field. He picked up a 100-acre field, and he's had a dry year, but he has a poor corn crop, but he was excited to be able to harvest his own crop this fall, and he was able to do all the variable rate technology on it. So
wow, that's got to be exciting for somebody new. They're not starting farming with 10 or 12 sections. I don't mean that. That would be amazing if they did.
Yep.
But just little by little does the trick.
Yep. Even the guys that are going back to the operation, they may not have their own ground, but their parents and they're working with the FSA office. They can get a quarter of ground purchase utilizing the resources they have, and then that allows them to get their first crop in the ground. And coming from experience myself, my first year of farming, I was nothing happier than planting it and seeing the corn grow, and then being able to get that check at the end of it. So,
oh my, yes.
To help pay for the bills. It sure is a scary sight when you put all those dollars into raising the crop, and it's a great relief when you get to harvest it and riding through the combine. So
that has to be indescribable, really, isn't it?
Yep. It was a nice opportunity. It was a true blessing to be able to see that all done. So.
Sure. And the last couple of years have been very good. This year a little different, but that's how farming goes. That's how it's gone for ages and ages. My grandparents were farmers, and same thing there. They had great years, and they had, wow, what are we going to do now?
That's like us at the college. We have a 120-acre wiper pivot, and then we have another 25 acres of subsurface strip, and then another 70 or so acres of dry land. And this year we have a really good subsurface strip crop. Our irrigated crop is struggling a little bit. It's been hard to keep up with moisture on it this year, but it was exciting to watch the farmers or the students plant the corn crop themselves, and then being able to watch it grow over the course of the year. We had some mess ups out there, but it's a learning experience for everybody, and Jack and I ourselves, and it's been a cool experience watching it grow. And those first year students last year that planted that corn crop, they'll get to harvest it this year, so they'll get to see that operation kind of throughout the course of their college year too.
They'll get that good feeling or mediocre feeling.
Yeah.
The
ones that planted the drip, they'll get to see a really good corn crop. The pivots, it's doing okay for the year. It's not a record breaking crop, but it's been a decent crop for the moisture we had to work with. So.
Sure. Well, hold on a minute. Thatcher Jones with us, instructor, one of the instructors at the Northwest Tech College Precision Ag. Short break. Now a message from the Northwest Kansas Technical College in Goodland. Have you planned for your fall education, ladies? I invite you to get great hands-on classes at NWKTC. Right now, there's a shortage of women in the ag industry. Our Northwest Tech Precision Agriculture class may be right for you. Visit our website, nwktc.edu. Schedule a visit to our beautiful campus and classrooms. See what it's all about. Northwest Kansas Technical College in Goodland, a winning combination. Indeed it is, and you can visit nwktc.edu on there. Thatcher Jones with me. Thatcher, do we have any girls in the class this year?
This year, unfortunately, we don't. We're usually a pretty male-dominant program, but in the past we've had a few ladies enroll in the program, and they do pretty good. But unfortunately, this year we didn't have any. So.
Sure, and you're always out visiting people and working on trips. Do you have field trips this year?
We got a couple coming later on in the year, towards the beginning of next year. We have a collegiate farm bureau club as part of the program, and those guys are going to get the opportunity to go to young farmers and ranchers out into Manhattan, and they also do a day at the State House, and they get to meet all the state I'm going to butcher that, and then they get to meet the governor and have conversations with those. So that's our next big one coming up. But we did just finish one this last week. We took the guys out to Husker Harvest Days in Grand Island, Nebraska, and they got a tour. They got a tour of that trade show, and then some of them left with some job offers. So it was a good opportunity for them. And then on Friday, we swung through and toured the Bayer water testing research facility there in Gothenburg, Nebraska, and the students got to learn about some different hybrid technologies Bayer has to offer, whether it was channel, decalb, or fontanelle seed. And then they kind of got to see the development of the corn plant from, the 1800s all the way up to, 2022. And then they also showed the students how much corn it used to take to produce a bushel of corn from, the 1900s all the way up to 2023, and how much smaller this area's got that we got to work with. So
that had to be exciting for the guys that were wanting to learn all about it. In fact, they all did.
Yeah, it was a good learning opportunity for sure. Even Jack and I, we learned a lot ourselves about different corn hybrids and corn technologies, and then just what all goes into making a corn plant. So
sure,
it sure is interesting.
Brings up the question, how do you stay on top of everything? Can't be all in the Farmer's Home Journal?
Yep. So the way I stay up to date on everything is just kind of different news sources like the Farm Journal. There's a website out there called precisionagnews.com, and it just stuff like that helps us stay on top of new trending technologies. Then also, continuing education courses. So like working with their applicator's license, CCA training, different precision ag conferences. That helps us stay up with the growing trend and different practices going on. But also working with our industry partners. Those guys come in, they'll have conversations. They'll show us what different technologies they're doing in their field, and that helps us stay on top of the growing trend. And then we also have an advisory board for the program, so they help us implement new technologies, practices to help teach the students. So that helps Jack and I stay on the leading edge a little bit. So
a good feeling to have supporters, right?
For sure. I'd say the biggest thing out there you can have is somebody that knows more than you to help you teach the students.
And they've been there, done that.
Yep.
Sure. What about equipment? Do you have enough equipment to do what you want? Are you getting new stuff?
So as Curtis said earlier, we got we're a young program, so we're continuing to build our equipment out. Currently, right now, we have an 8-row fully loaded precision planter that it was student built, and then the students do all the maintenance on it every year, and they plant all the corn. That comes equipped with a new Case Magnum 340 tractor every year. which has the newest, latest, and greatest guidance system in it. And then last February, the school, we purchased an 8-row John Deere cornhead that we will have on site, and that comes with a tractor or a new combine every year. We'll have we lease from the local dealers, whether it's Yost, John Deere, or Central Plains, to help have a variety of equipment out there. And then we also purchased a Freightliner day cab semi, and then we have a 750 bushel truck and trailer to go with that. And then we utilize different grain carts out there. So we try to get different pieces of equipment out there to help learn. So
good, and the students learn on those.
Yep. And as the year progresses and the program progresses, we're going to keep trying to get different pieces of equipment out there, whether it's a fertilizer rig, a spray rig, different tractors, combines, swafters, balers, you name it. We're going to try to keep different equipment coming in throughout the year so we can keep training the students on different pieces of equipment. So.
You see some electric cars on the roadways. Do you see electric implements coming for the farm?
I do. We have not so much here in Kansas, but across seas, the smaller operations. John Deere has a tractor built that's fully electric, and they're using it on some of the smaller operations. It's just a matter of time for that becomes a bigger scale thing, and you start seeing that in northwest Kansas.
How do you charge them up? These tractors and combines, when harvest goes, sometimes they're gone 24 hours a day. You can't carry a cord out there, and it would be prohibitive to put in a charging station.
This may not be the right answer, but I'm hoping they come up with a self-charging solution that, I don't know, maybe as you drive, it helps generate power to charge batteries. So right. I'm hoping that's maybe a plan that they have engineering, and it may already be, but that's going to be a big problem that we'd face as if they want to go fully electric, being able to have that charging so farmers can continue to work day in, day out during harvest operations.
Maybe they could do that with tractors, so when you go in and, well, no, because a lot of the tractors don't go in and dump. They dump in the trucks.
Yeah.
Well, that shoots that to pieces.
So that's a question that'll have to be answered by the guys making them.
Yes. Well, that's good. I'm glad you enjoy it. You were talking about students. Some already had job proposals. Do you have a good placement for students as they graduate?
I'd say at this point, we don't have, I wouldn't say we're at 100% job placement rate, but some of those jobs that aren't accounted for, the students that go back to the farm, or maybe they can do continuing education. We have some guys that may bounce on to Fort Hays or K-State and get their 4-year degree in agronomy or ag business or you name it. So we have a 100% job placement rate, but we don't. But we have a lot of job offers come in and any different avenues that the guys want to go into. And it seems like every day we have somebody calling about wanting to hire somebody. So
good feeling.
For sure. It's in fact, I was on a phone call before I walked in here about a guy wanting to hire a student to run a spray rig. So okay, well, there's a lot of opportunities.
Yes, good deal. Well, it all is called experience and that hands-on learning, which you get at the Tech College, not only in precision ag, but every class there is.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, good. We've got a minute left. Anything, Thatcher, that we didn't hit on?
I'd say the biggest thing, if you have a son or a niece, nephew, or grandchild, or yourself, if you're interested in learning anything about precision ag, feel free to reach out to Northwest Tech or us, Jack and I, ourselves, and come tour the program, come talk to us, and see what we have to offer.
Very good. Thanks. Thatcher Jones, instructor for Northwest Tech College Precision Ag in Goodland. I'm Curtis Duncan. That's our program for today, brought to you by the Northwest Kansas Technical College. Visit nwkpc.edu. This is a public affair broadcast event from Rockingham Radio and KLOE.